All right, this guy comes around. Which way? Just like this, or does it have to be a specific way?
You're just gonna want to like
Little
scoot
tilt.
into the top.
Is that fine? Like right here?
Yeah, I think you'll be good. Should be good. I know it's midday. I brought some wine, and if you do want.
Nice. Yeah, I'd have a glass if you'd like.
Word. Cool.
Yeah.
Word, man. Jon, thanks for coming on today.
Absolutely, brother. It's great to be here.
Pleasure having you. Where are you coming from?
Norwalk, Connecticut. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Is that where you're staying now?
For the time being, yeah. I'll be there until September 6th, and then I plan to head west from there.
Okay, very cool. My parents actually just moved to Stanford.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stanford's a chill area.
I like Connecticut.
It's really nice, dude. Eventually I think I would maybe want to settle down in Westport potentially.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually feel Southport or like somewhere on the coast in Connecticut would be ideal for me too.
Yeah, it's got like similarities to Armonk in a way, but like it's a little more expansive, great restaurants on the water. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I saw you were filming some content there yesterday.
Yeah, we were filming some in Norwalk. So me, Julian, and Glenn, we went to a few different grocery stores in Norwalk, and we were basically just playing this new song that I'm about to release called The Star Lounge.
I like it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
It's a good song. So it's like a little more rap. It's a little different than...
Yeah, it's like a psychedelic hip hop song. And so,
when's that supposed to drop?
May 22nd. So this Thursday.
Okay.
This Thursday, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, it's a funny story, actually. I was hiking up Cadillac Mountain in Acadia last year with Jeremy Knepper and Ian Wattels, if you remember them at all.
Yeah.
And I was on about 1/8 of penis envy mushrooms, like some of the strongest mushrooms out there. And as I'm walking, just taking this like very wholesome hike, like all of a sudden, like this fucking hook comes in my head. It goes, "Welcome to the yeah." And I just start fucking laughing, and I start like kind of recording my voice, and that's kind of how it came to be. That was like the roots of it, at least, and then it took some time to develop it and everything. But yeah, it was a funny origin story.
That's some great context. When were you out hiking?
This was last May, so about a year ago.
Okay. So the idea came out a year ago. The song's out next Thursday.
Yep.
Okay. I want to get into your creative process. Before that, I'm just going to introduce you real quick. For anybody watching, this is Jon Berry, also known as MAB. Jon is a legend from my hometown, Armonk, New York. He is unapologetically himself, and I really love that about you. It's truly inspiring.
Thank you.
I feel like we come from a town where everybody is kind of cookie cutter. You know, go to school, go to college, get a job, finance, kind of same route. Everyone kind of does the same thing. And if you steer off that path, sometimes people might look at you a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I really appreciate that you've kind of chose your path and you don't look back. So I want to start with like, what gave you the courage to do that?
It's been a long progression of things, for sure. I mean, so I always loved music growing up. Music was a very big part of my life as a kid. You know, a lot of stuff like Simon and Garfunkel. My dad was very into that. Fleetwood Mac. My mom was very into that. And as I started to get older, I started to get very much into EDM.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was at a graduation party going into my senior year of college, and I had just put out like a little teaser of me singing on like Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and some people like responded well to it. So Dakota Man like called me up to the mic, and I sang a little bit of Free Fallin', and a few minutes later, my childhood friend Michael Stein came through to the party, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd always like played the guitar and made music. So we ended up getting up there together. We sang a little bit, and then we ended up hanging out after that and like doing a cover of No Diggity. A year went by. We got together right after I graduated, and we're like, let's write a song. We're gonna do this. We put a song together. It came out pretty good. People thought it was pretty decent, like a nice like soft acoustic song. And time passed. Didn't really link up again. And then I was down in Patagonia to market this company called Watersply that I had started out of college.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and so basically while I was down there, I was so inspired by just the beauty of the mountains, and it's just incredible down there, man. So much beauty, and just the scale of everything is amazing.
Patagonia?
Patagonia,
Yeah.
So it basically zigzags down the border of Chile and Argentina.
Uh-huh.
And so while I was down there, I started writing poetry every night. And when I came back, me and Michael started hanging out again. I was sharing my poetry with him, and one thing led to the next, and we decided we were going to start making music together. We were going to put out 10 songs under a mixtape called Goodnight Melodies. Our name was Michael and Berry. One thing led to the next. Then my friend Alex Katz came along, who I grew up with, and he reached out to me after hearing one of our songs. He was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, I play the piano. One thing led to the next. Alex became involved, and MAB was formed, which originally was an acronym for Michael Alexander Berry.
Got it.
And, you know, as far as like just putting myself out there, like, it's just been, you know, I wasn't so, I mean, I think I was like somewhat fearless growing up. I was never afraid to go against the grain, but it's been a long progression of just like life, you know, going through a lot of dark times, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of painful experiences, a lot of psychedelic and powerful psychedelic experiences that have helped me come into my own and help me fully embrace who I am. And ultimately it's been the accumulation of all of these things that have helped me really become more and more fearless about sharing the depths of who I am with the world.
I love that. I feel like sometimes challenges just make you realize, like, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly, right? Dude, 100%, man. Like, it really takes, you know, I think pain is one of the greatest catalysts to growth. And so sometimes it really it takes, you know, going through some serious hardships to rise above and to enter new levels of your existence.
Would you mind sharing any of those?
Absolutely. I guess first one I could think of right off the bat was in 2019. My friend Alex Katz, who I started MAB with, he passed away during his 5th battle with cancer. And that was definitely really painful and drove me to a new place. And he was just such an inspiring person, man. Like, after he graduated from Bucknell, he was re-diagnosed with cancer. His girlfriend broke up with him. Like, his parents split up, and still he was living down in Virginia, going door to door with an IV in his arm in hopes of making this world a better place, just like campaigning for a political campaign that he believed in. And so right from the get-go, like, he was such a massive inspiration to me. And, you know, after his passing, like, you know, I've always been really inspired to keep the torch burning and to continue to build the vision that we had from the get-go, because he was one of the very few people in the world that believed in what I believed in from the start. You know, we had these big dreams of not only making great music, but also helping the world come into a higher place of existence through our music. And so that was one big one. And then a few years later, in 2023, my mom was tragically hit and killed by a car while walking our dog JB, and that was another intense heartbreak that I went through that has definitely helped me rise above. My mom was, again, one of those like 2-3 people that believed in me before anyone else did. She worked at Beginning Blues in Armonk, and she basically would play my songs on repeat, probably to the point where it was driving her coworkers insane. But like, she just believed in me so relentlessly. And we had some hard times living together. You know, I lived with my mom in the basement for like 3 years after college, and it wasn't easy all the time, man. Like, it was, you know, I was trying to figure my shit out, learning how to write, learning how to make music. And we had our struggles, but through it all, she never gave up hope in me. And she always saw the depths of my existence. She always saw the sweet, innocent child in me, but also the man that I was capable of becoming. And so those were two major things that have definitely driven me. And there's been more along the way, you know, between, you know, girlfriends and things of the like that I've lost. But, you know, those are two that have definitely driven me.
Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
And getting vulnerable there. I had met your mom a few times, and she was a really special person from my memory.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm curious what a sudden moment like that, because it happened so suddenly. I remember when I heard the news, I was shocked myself. What does that teach you about life?
It teaches you that life can come and go in any second. You know, you can have an amazing life and it could disappear in an instant. And you just got to do your best to really appreciate your time here, man. You know, appreciate the breath that we have, appreciate the feeling of the sun on our face. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in all of the fucking bullshit in life and all of the negativity. And, you know, life can become monotonous and it can become really difficult just to live like a healthy lifestyle sometimes. But when you take yourself away from everything. It is a pure miracle that we're even here on this earth. It is one of the greatest miracles that you can possibly imagine. Each of our existence here, it's like, they say it's like 1 in 400 trillion chance that we're even here to begin with. And so sometimes we just got to like remove ourselves from ourselves and take a step away and just remind ourselves how much of an amazing opportunity it is to breathe and to feel, even if it's heartbreak, even if it's pain and sadness. The fact that we are able to experience all of these different emotions and aspects of life is a pure miracle. And I want to do the best that I can each and every day to embrace everything, the good and the bad, so that ultimately I can grow into my highest self and to help other people around me do the same.
That's beautifully said. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, bro.
Absolutely.
Let's get on to your music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So you'd mentioned some inspiration, some psychedelics, but let's talk about your process.
Yeah.
I see your videos are extremely creative, and I've actually been listening since I believe it was your first EP. We could play it. Let's get on.
Sure.
Alexa. Let's get Alexa to. I'm gonna show you the first few songs. A World Beyond Our Own. That's when I got into you. It was 2021, right after COVID.
That was actually from 2019, actually.
Sure how to help you with that.
That was a culmination of our music in 2019.
Okay.
And that was the last project that I worked on with Alex. And that was, it's funny that the name of that EP came from a song, A World Beyond My Own, that me and Alex came up with on the summer solstice of 2019. And it was just so representative of everything that we believed in as musicians. Like I said, like it wasn't just about the music for us. It was also about like inspiring people and helping the world elevate and come into a place of greater peace and prosperity. And so, yeah, that EP will forever hold a very special place in my heart. And it really represents the origins of MAB in a lot of ways.
I love that. I love the mission and meaning behind it. Let's tune in. I want to play it for anyone watching. Alexa, play Spotify.
Okay, here's Spotify.
This intro is lit. Let me. I'm gonna open some wine. You want some wine?
Absolutely. Let's have a glass.
Are you on the beats too? Do you make the beats, or is that a group effort?
Pretty much all of the music that I put out, it starts from scratch, just me messing around with the keyboard, and then I have a producer that works out west. He lives he lives in LA now. Caden Jester. He's a very talented guy, and so I'll send him like my rough demo, and I'll give him like kind of a vision for where I'm thinking the drop should go. And then he'll usually build in the drop with my direction, and then he sends it back to me, and then we kind of go back and forth until we feel like it's the best it can be.
How'd you meet this guy?
Through a website called soundbetter.com.
Sound Better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So
yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like we literally have never even hopped on a call before.
Really?
It's all text and email, but I feel like I know him so well. It's wild,
dude.
Dude,
He does a great job with these beats.
Dude, yeah, we do. We work really well together, man. So I'm excited for what's ahead, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how'd you get into the vocals? You mentioned in college you sung on stage, and that seemed to be
not even on stage really. Like, I kind of when I was like a junior in high school, I recorded myself on a photo booth. I remember like in the closet of my bedroom, and I was like, I think I might be able to like sing a little bit, but it's taken a lot of development and a lot of practice to actually. 'Cause your voice is like a muscle in a lot of ways.
Right.
So you might have like a decent, like solid tone, but you need to be able to like build it up in a lot of ways. And so like when I was pledging, I sang once, and then some people were like, oh shit, that's pretty good. And so they would have me like come front and center a decent amount and sing. And, one thing led to the next, and here we are now.
Nice, man. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Congrats. Seems like you're doing pretty well in terms of views and followers. You have around how many, 50,000, 60,000 monthly listeners on Spotify?
About that right now, yeah.
It's a great start.
Yeah, it's good for now. My aspirations are always very high, so sometimes I feel inadequate about all those numbers.
I hear you,
But,
man.
you know,
It's something I struggle with too.
yeah.
Like, I post on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel. Just hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm very grateful for
Mm-hmm. Cheers
all
to
of
that,
you.
brother.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're my first video for 1,000. Please subscribe if you're watching this. It really helps out. But yeah, man, I know what you mean. Like sometimes it's like I'm putting myself out there, and you see other people who might get like 1 million views,
And it's like,
like
they're not doing anything better at all. Like
right. Or like if it's better or not, like you get into this comparison game
for
sometimes.
sure.
But
yeah,
everyone
no, I
has
get
their
it,
own
man. Of
timeline
course.
and their
Yeah,
own
absolutely,
own
100%.
pace.
But you know,
And I think you have a lot of achievement. I mean,
thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
50,000, 60,000 monthly listeners, a good amount.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I try to stay away from like the whole comparison thing, but
Yeah.
I'm naturally a very competitive person.
I know.
I've been that way since I was, for as long as I can remember, man. Like
I can relate.
me and my brother used to play like basement soccer when I was younger, and he was like 5 years older than me, so it would be like a 6-year-old versus an 11-year-old, and I would be crying my eyes out, sweating balls, just like going crazy trying to win. And that's kind of what shaped me to become the soccer player that I became, and to become just the competitor that I became. And I've had to harness that competitive edge a little bit. It's not as like crazy in certain ways, but I do let it loose through like my dance every day, pretty much. That's kind of how I get my day started. I wake up and I just dance. I work on my performance, and it helps me release a lot of that energy and channel it into something positive and something that I really care about.
Gotcha. Couple of things I want to ask you based on what you just said. I'm going to start here though. You mentioned soccer, and of course you're very competitive. You wanted to play at the FIFA World Cup, right? I remember you announcing that. You made a song. Yes,
the Glory Train. The Glory Train. I was hoping to make it the World Cup anthem, and I still have high aspirations for being involved with FIFA. I absolutely do.
Well, you have time, man. You got plenty of time.
Well, we got the 2026 FIFA World Cup coming up in the U.S. next summer, so I'm still aiming high, bro. I still believe in it, and I don't know if it's going to be that song or another song that I come up with. I have a couple of ideas, but I do have very high aspirations for creating the FIFA World Cup anthem.
I love that. What do you think you need to do to get there? You think it's like one hit? Like, what's the process like?
Some of it's quite political in a lot of ways. Like, you have to. So I basically was able to get the song to the higher ups at FIFA to take a listen to it last time, but they do everything through Universal Music. So it's like there's this red tape where like it has to come through them. Mm-hmm. So in order for me to get there, ultimately, like I need to blow up in the next few months realistically in order to like enter that place.
Have you reached out to Universal or played the label game?
No, I haven't. I right now I'm honestly just focused on the content creation. This is what I'm going to be hammering away at for the next several months, because
make them come to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the real power comes in.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of time, bro. Keep going and you'll get noticed. So
thank you, bro.
What's your day-to-day, like what's a day in the life? Because you mentioned you wake up, you like to dance.
Yep.
What do you normally do?
So it varies a little bit from time to time. Like this past winter, I did this like 90-day challenge where like I had to do 9 things every day, 4 things I couldn't do, and there was like a hybrid. But I found that like towards the end of it, I got pretty burnt out because I was just like doing the same thing every time, every single day. And I need a little bit more of a free creative flow, which is what I'm working on right now. I'm working on just making sure that I'm doing something that's either helping me make progress or helping me feel more peaceful right now. And I'm in a place where I'm praying a lot and seeking guidance from God, seeking direction as to, okay, what's the best thing for me to do now? And having a little bit more flexibility with my schedule. But typically I do wake up, I dance, walk my dog, I make a breakfast, 2 eggs sunny side up, baby spinach, baby kale, half an orange, half an avocado, pretty much every day. Pretty much, yeah. I do that, then I'll work on music for a little bit, then I'll work on some content creation. And right now I'm just kind of, navigating the rhythm of my life and just trying to figure out a creative flow that doesn't become so monotonous to the point where I lose my passion, because that happened for a couple months this winter a little bit.
How so?
just like I said, like I did this 90-day challenge, which was very progressive in a lot of ways, but like towards the end of it, I felt burnt out and it was too monotonous and it kind of sucked the passion and like the life out of the creativity. You know, creativity, it can't be too structured.
What was the 90-day like progression?
So the idea was I had to do 9 things every day. So it was like there was like prayer, performance, work on music, work on selling this screenplay called Firefly that I wrote. And I forgot the
That's
other.
a lot
right
for
now.
one day.
It was nine things, 4 things I couldn't do, which was like basically no added sugar, no alcohol, no fried foods, and I forgot what the 4th one was right now. But then the hybrid was I had to drink a gallon of water every day, which I still do, but I can't drink past 7:30 p.m. because I just fucking wake up to go to the bathroom when I do that. So I got to.
That's a strict regimen. You did that for 90 days.
Yeah, I took a few more cheat days than I expected to. But that's the thing, man. Like I kind of like got a little bit burnt out from it, and it kind of like threw me like I was a little bit like I just lost my passion for a little bit, and but I'm proud to say that it's been reignited over the last few weeks, and I'm definitely entering a new place in my creativity. I'm excited for what's ahead.
Let's talk about your creativity.
Yeah.
Your videos, the graphics, I mean, it's very unique. Where does that come from? How do you do that?
There's not like a specific formula that I go by. So the recent videos that I've been creating, I create all of the backdrops so the images, they start with ChatGPT, me just typing in different prompts, and then I transfer the image to Sora, which is a video generator.
Okay.
It's connected to ChatGPT.
Uh-huh.
And so and then I basically edit them together. And then I have a mini green screen in my studio at my spot. Okay. And so I film literally everything on my iPhone right now, just with like decent lighting. And then I'll do like for like the most recent videos that I put out, I'll do like a rough edit of like where I want to be in the video. And then I have this artist that I work with in India who helps me, like if it's a moving shot, she'll keep me stationed in a specific place. But yeah, there's no specific formula. It's just like, what's the cool, like, so for me, a big thing about my music, it's not only just like the music, it's like what type of world can I build around this music? Like what visual representation best suits the music that I'm putting out? And that just takes kind of like, you know, taking notes and trying different things out. But ultimately with these videos, I use the tools that I have and my current resources to build the most fitting visual and world around what the sound and what the feeling and what the vibe and what the message of the song is.
Very interesting. So it's a mix of typing into ChatGPT and Soros to get like those bears like walking around and like communicating with you.
I'll type in like,
it's wild.
Create like a floating platform amidst a beautiful sunset with 3 bears partying on a couch. And like I'll have to keep changing the prompt a little bit and trying new things out. And I'm like, all right, this one could work.
Dude, it's sick. I mean, even though you're using AI, it's so creative. I don't see anyone else like just like playing around with like graphics like that.
AI is here to stay, and it's only going to get bigger. So
absolutely.
My philosophy is like either learn how to use it or fall behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So you have a studio in Connecticut?
Mm-hmm. It's a makeshift little studio. It's like a small bedroom size, basically. I have the green screen set up. Then I've got my keyboard and mic set up. Then I've got like a pull-up bar on the wall. So it's like my at-home gym, green screen studio, music studio hybrid for now. And it's working for now. You know, I hope to upgrade my space soon, but it definitely works, and it's treated me really well so far.
You bring people through there, collaborate with other artists?
Not much. No, I kind of, not that I'm opposed to, and I do hope to have some good collaborations in my life, but I do most of my work by myself. I find that I enjoy the independence of it a lot. But I would like to collaborate with more artists in the future.
Anyone in particular come to mind?
Well, my favorite artists in the world, like Odessa,
okay,
Rufus Du Sol.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Those guys, I would love to work with them. Yeah.
Very cool. So that shows like some of the inspiration that you have too.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, it's interesting. I have a very eclectic taste in music. So I like a lot of old school stuff. Like I mentioned, like Simon and Garfunkel, Fleetwood Mac, Frank Sinatra even. And then like Coldplay, I love, huge Coldplay fan. And then like more electronically, Odessa, Rufus du Sol, Sultan and Shepard, Nora and Pure. So I don't really ever create anything like trying to copy another artist or emulate their sound. I'm always searching for like whatever flows through me and just trying to capture sparks and translate them into music. But I think subconsciously and naturally, I'm of course inspired by, you know, the artists that I love to listen to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned psychedelics. How much has that influenced your sound?
Well, psychedelics have become a very large part of my life over the last 10 years. So I don't really ever, when I create music, I'm pretty much always sober. But I think that psychedelics have had a very profound impact on my appreciation for life, my awareness of life, and they've helped me get in touch with my higher self and my most creative self. And so I think that ultimately, when I've had really positive mushroom experiences, the things that I've learned from those experiences and the ways in which I've elevated have ultimately translated into the person that I am today and the way that I create.
Interesting. Have those experiences ever went the other side?
What do you mean by that?
Like sometimes it's overwhelming being like high on mushrooms. Does that happen to you?
I've never had a bad trip on mushrooms.
Really?
Never in my life. And I've done them many times. I think they are the healthiest, most powerful and profound medicine on the planet. And not only are they an incredible medicine, but they have incredible recreational potential. Like I've had some of the most fun times on mushrooms, like me and my friends wandering through like waterfalls in New Zealand and, you know, just gallivanting in different parts of the world on mushrooms has been some of my most memorable and powerful and beautiful experiences in life. And thankfully, I've never had a bad experience because I just know in the center of who I am that as long as I can like keep my breath and stay calm through whatever chaos is coming my way, I'll weather any storm that tries to blow through me. And in fact, mushrooms have actually helped me achieve a higher level of peace in my life and a higher level of just being grounded, which sounds ironic because they lift you up pretty high in a lot of ways. But I'm just, every single time that I take them while I'm in a beautiful place in nature, I'm consistently reminded how incredible our earth is and how amazing it is to exist. And it's a very grounding and humbling experience, but also a very empowering experience. And they've helped me so much with like direction in my life. Not only creative direction, but just like, where do I go next? And they've often helped me find clarity when I've had confusion in my day-to-day. And ultimately, it's, you know, you can learn a lot of things while on psychedelics, but it doesn't mean anything unless you actually take those things that you learn and then put them into practice. So I try to do my best at following through with all of the insight that I acquire while on mushrooms. I will say, like, I think a lot of people have bad mushroom experiences because for a couple different reasons. One, they're not in the right set or setting. They're taking them in a place that's not really conducive. Maybe it's out in public. Maybe it's with people they're not comfortable with. And maybe it's because they're not completely honest with themselves. Because mushrooms will ultimately reveal your truth to you, the truth of your spirit. It will reveal that to you. And as long as you keep yourself pure and your spirit pure to the best of your ability, mushrooms will only help magnify that in a positive way. I think a lot of people sometimes can have difficulty being honest with themselves. And when you take mushrooms, it can show you that dishonesty that you've been holding on to. And for some people, that can be really hard to digest. So I think it's really important just to maintain, you know, self-awareness as much as possible.
Yeah, I like that perspective. I feel like my experience is, I haven't done them in a while, but I used to do like microdoses, like really small doses that came in these pill forms.
Right.
My friend put me on, who's actually also a musician. Maybe I'll connect you. He has a studio in Brooklyn.
Nice.
And I just felt my awareness expand on these like the microdoses. Like I felt more focus, almost more mental clarity in whatever I was doing, whether it was a workout or just being on my computer working. I noticed that it had a lot of benefits. So
Absolutely, man. And as far as like, it's interesting because a lot of people just think mushrooms are like, they make you feel like la di da di da, kind of like, you know. But for me, and I think if, and I don't know if this is for everyone, but when I take like a substantial dose, or even like just 1.5 grams to 2 grams plus, they actually have helped me come into the full power of my body in a much higher way. I've learned how to basically dance through like my psychedelic experiences, and then practicing the way that I kind of move like my energy around through that. And I've learned how to swim way better. It's like I feel like I am sometimes it feels like I'm a superhuman version of me while I'm on the mushrooms. And through embracing that feeling and understanding that feeling and harnessing that feeling, I've learned how to channel it into my day-to-day life through practicing after the mushrooms wear off. And that is really powerful. And it's wild, man, to think that like a natural mushroom that grows from the earth can give you such insight and such empowerment. And it's something that's so greatly, it's, you know, it's becoming more understood, but it's still quite misunderstood because of, you know, the idea of a bad trip and what that represents. And I think people just need to understand more about the process and how to have a good trip, which is really to take them in a place where you feel safe with people you feel safe around, and just to be open-minded and not to really fight anything, but to embrace whatever comes your way. I think that's really important.
Awesome. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
Probably the same thing.
What you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I love that.
In my mind, there's no plan B. There never has been. And as much as like when you're really in the process, doubt will creep in. It's you know, it's impossible to avoid doubt on a journey towards your highest aspirations, because in order to achieve something great in this life, it takes a lot of sacrifice, and it takes a lot of pain, and it takes a lot of overcoming shit within yourself, really. But through all of the doubt and through all of the fear, I know in the depth of my being that I will achieve everything that I put my mind to, so long as I stay my course and continue forward in the way that I'm doing, which is...
I love that.
Yeah. Thank
I
you,
love
brother.
that. Yeah. I feel the same way, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's why you're here. That's why I asked you to be on here. I feel like a lot of people are doing things that they don't want to do.
Most of the people on the planet.
And if they went for it and just like went in with the same attitude that you have, I feel like they would feel a lot more achieved, a lot more fulfilled.
I agree. I guess the difference though is that, like, firstly, you have to have like somewhat of a delusional sense of self-belief from the get-go.
Yeah, totally.
My self-belief was completely delusional from the get-go. Like, I thought I was going to put out this one project, shit was going to blow up, and it was going to be the game over. And then, like, you know, 8 months later, as the winter hit, I realized, like, holy shit, this is going to be, like, way longer and way more difficult than I ever expected. But also, like, not only do you have to have that delusional self-belief, like, you have to, like, have the work ethic to back it up.
Right.
And you need to, like, be pretty relentless about it. Like, sure, your faith can waver at times, but at the end of the day, you need to be willing to do whatever it takes, go whatever distance you need to go in order to make that happen. And that's the only way that you're going to rise all the way to the top of your aspirations, because there's so many people out there who, like, are talented and are working hard, but you need to, like, really give it everything that you've got. That's what I believe, at least. And I'm still not there. I'm still climbing, but I know, you know, I've known since I was a kid, honestly, since I watched the Rocky movies, like this whole underdog story of, like, going the distance. I felt that in, like, the center of my being from when I was 10 years old and watched those movies. Like, I just knew that no matter what, I had within me what it took to go whatever distance necessary to achieve what I set out to do.
Interesting. So for you, what's an optimal level of fame? Have you ever thought about that?
Optimal?
Yeah.
I want to make it all the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
That's awesome.
As high as you can go.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I personally wouldn't want to be at the top, but I feel like there's a level of recognition that I'd like to achieve in my field, in between podcasting, wine, and now I've been working in real estate too, where
Sweet.
I'd like to, like, really be top dog in those fields.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if I could like go outside and like have like a whole crowd of people.
Right. No,
Like,
it's definitely.
are you ready for that?
At this point in my life, I'm ready for it now. Yes. When I started out, even though I thought I was ready for it, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for it now. I've been through enough hardship and enough life experience where I'm ready for it. I don't want that to be the case forever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to rise as high as I can go, and then kind of
Be able to
drift away a little bit,
away, yeah.
and then have a lot of money to just kind of
go to Connecticut.
just chill. Well, I want to have a couple, not just Connecticut. I do aspire to have a few properties around the world. Like I would like to have one on each coast of the U.S., one maybe down in New Zealand, one in Switzerland, and then one in this town in Argentina called San Martin de los Andes.
San Martin
de los Andes.
What do you like about that?
It is just a very special place. I was down there during my trip in Patagonia, and there's just an energy there that just, it felt so pure. It's just this beautiful little mountain town right at the beginning of the Seven Lakes Road.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically this road with like 7 beautiful lakes on it. And so the town is at the base of it. And I mean, every woman there was beautiful. Like literally did not see one woman there that was not beautiful. Like just like everything about the town was just like amazing. So I'd like to get like a boat down there and be able to cruise the lake and just fucking chill out.
Is it like a warm weather town or kind of mix?
I was there in the summertime, so the weather was literally perfect when I was there. It's probably worth checking out what the weather would be like in the winter, but I don't really like being in the cold.
Okay.
So I would try to avoid the cold as much as possible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, once I can at least.
Want me to pour you some more wine?
Yeah, please. It's great.
Thank you. And pour myself a little bit more. Yeah, so this is from Russian River Valley in Sonoma.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been like northern coast of California?
I drove up there in the fall of 23. I drove from LA to Manzanita, Oregon. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, you have been kind of passed through that.
Yeah.
This is like on the coast, kind of by Bodega Bay.
Nice.
And
Bodega
there's like,
Bay.
yeah, there's this, it's beautiful out there. It's just the coast and the views. It's
Yeah.
so nice.
Is it near like Redwood National Park or National Forest?
I'm not exactly sure where that is.
So is
I'm
it
not
all,
sure.
all the way up Northern California or like?
It's in
on the
Sonoma,
way?
so like probably like two hours or so north of San Francisco.
Okay. Nice. Okay. I probably passed by the area because I stayed in San Francisco, which was like, it was in a bad shape when I was there. Actually, the homeless situation was even worse than LA, dude. It was.
Bro, it's a mess. Do you know this? Do you know what happened to me and my family when we were?
No, what happened?
So we rented a car, and we were heading towards Napa, but we wanted to check out San Francisco and just see what it was like. Go to get breakfast at this diner, and all of a sudden we hear an alarm, and my dad's like, "Brian, go outside, check what's going on." Brian doesn't come back. My dad runs out. My other brother follows, and Brian's like trying to turn on the car. Our car got broken into. All our bags got stolen.
Oh my
Brian's
God.
trying to chase them. It was insane.
Did he catch them?
So he couldn't figure out how to turn on the car because it wasn't like an on there. It was like on, I don't know, the way you turn on the ignition wasn't a usual way. So he like couldn't figure it out. So my dad got in the car and like they like tried to chase the people who robbed us, but they went the wrong way. He like went the wrong way, and the whole street's like watching this. It was,
Oh my God.
it was a crazy.
What happened?
Nothing.
got away?
Yeah, they got away.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, the cops don't really do much there. Like
I've
with-
heard a couple of fucking shitty stories like that there, man. That's terrible.
2 other cars got robbed too, right by us.
Sucks, man.
You
I'm
can't
sorry
keep your
to hear
bags.
that.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't the worst thing.
Mhm.
Luckily, everyone's okay. So
Listen, materials are materials. You know, as long as you guys were all intact and not injured.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's okay. You'll recover.
yeah, I had to like get new contacts. I had to go to an optician and like find contact. It was a whole thing, but yeah, San Francisco's a mess.
Yeah, dude. I was like, there's the only time I've ever seen like somebody like shooting up on the sidewalk.
Oh, I see that here.
Yeah, I mean,
Unfortunately.
I don't live here, so I
Yeah.
guess yeah. But like, it was the only time I've personally ever witnessed it. But I'm sure you could see it in any city. I'm sure.
Yeah, the West Village is a little bit crazy too.
Little shady?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
A lot of drugs going on. But yeah, anyways, 2 hours north is this beautiful area of Russian River, and it's like through the coast there's this river that goes through, and they're known for growing Pinot Noir. So this grape particularly grows really well there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, dude, this is great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
It's really nice.
Thank you. Thank you. So there was another question I want to ask. Optimal fame. Well, let's talk about your event. You have an event coming up.
Yes, June 14th at the Cutting Room.
Let's talk about it.
Yep. I'm just going to be putting on a performance, performing some of my past music and also all the new music that I'm releasing. The new music that I'm releasing is for a project called Interdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually came up with the concept of that when I was down in Peru. I did an ayahuasca ceremony.
Okay.
And in the middle of the ceremony, that's kind of where it came to life. It was actually really interesting. So basically the ceremony took place in a teepee.
Where'd you do this?
In Peru.
Okay.
In the Sacred Valley. So basically there was like a fire in the center of the teepee. There's a shaman, there was like 2 assistants to the shaman and a few people that were just attending the ceremony. And we're all on like these Peruvian rug mats. And like at some point in the process, I was like doing all these like crazy stretches. I was like looking at the fire like I was like this Black Panther, like had this crazy energy, dude. Everyone else is like flatlined on their back, like, and I'm like prancing around my mat like I'm like a freaking lion. And I do this one like stretch, and then I come up with the song. It's like, somewhere I used to be the man I was becoming. I go, it's time to tell him I told you so. Nah, not gonna waste my time. I'm undercover. I know that lovely tune where I hold you close. For feeling my heart be rise. These inner cities aglow. I'm feeling something sensational. Come take a dance underneath these skies. We'll open spectrums of light. I call this interdimensional. Na 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 na. I call this interdimensional. Na 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 na. I call this interdimensional. So it started as that hook that kind of like came out of nowhere pretty much. And
were you with people you knew?
No, but I made a couple really good friends through it, and I'm still in touch with them like pretty frequently from it. It's crazy how like an experience like that, you can meet someone for the first time and be bonded for the rest of your life, really, because it's really that powerful. And anyways, that hook essentially turned into this idea of like being interdimensional, like kind of adding dimension to my craft. And that's kind of like where the hip hop started to come in and new ideas. Like, you know, oftentimes we think that there's only like 1 or 2 ways to address a problem, but really like there's so many different ways we can go about addressing our issues in life or addressing anything in life, really. Like there's so many different angles that we can take, and that's where the beauty of creativity comes in. And yeah, that's where the project was born, and it's kind of been my North Star ever since. And I'm looking forward to, you know, performing some of the music that I've worked really hard on coming up with since then.
That's amazing. I know my friends plan on coming. I'm sure there'll be a good Byram crowd there.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm hyped that you're coming out.
Yeah. So I remember the other thing I wanted to ask you. Let's say you were told you had a year left to live.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
I think keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I would just like, honestly, I'm at a place right now where I'm going after what I aspire.
Mm-hmm.
I am going after everything that I've been dreaming about for these past years, and I'm at a place where like I feel like there's nothing holding me back. I've reached that recently through some extra heartbreak and some pain that I've been going through, and I'm now at a place where like I'm dancing in grocery stores. I'm doing whatever the fuck it takes to see this dream come to fruition. There's nothing that could stop me right now except for God himself, and I believe that God's on my side because I'm praying all the time and I'm doing the best that I can to follow in God's light and to really stay connected with God as much as possible. And yeah, I want to bring my music and my message to the world, and my message is a message of inspiration and perseverance and to never give up on what you believe in. And I think you know, there's nothing really more powerful in my life than this journey, and I'm so thankful that I've been on it. I wouldn't change a thing, and there's been some trials and tribulations for sure, and some mistakes that I've made along the way. But yeah, I'm all in on this. And
That's inspiring.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people watching, they wouldn't be able to say the same thing. Like, if I had a year left to live, I'd just keep doing what I'm doing, you know? Or if I knew I couldn't fail,
yeah,
like, keep doing what I'm doing.
yeah.
A lot of people would be like, oh, I would try this or I would do this, but you're doing everything you want to do.
You know, and and by the way, like, it's still very experimental. Like I said, I was just dancing in grocery stores yesterday. I'm trying to figure out how to bring the music to the people, like how to connect with the audience on a, you know, on a deeper level and also on a mass scale. So yeah, like, you know, the answers don't come to you just by sitting around and wishing and praying. They come through going out there and fucking trying new things, experimenting, being bold. You know, as they say, fortune favors the bold. And I 100% stand by that. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. And I will continue to live by that until the day that I die.
Amazing. You mentioned Heartbreak. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, well, I've obviously mentioned, you know, the passing of my friend Alex and my mom,
Mhm.
but I also recently split with my girlfriend of 2 years, which has been a different type of heartbreak and in some ways even more difficult because, you know, you have someone who's your best friend in the world and your closest companion, someone that you trust more than anyone else and you share everything about your life with. And, you know, it's just really sad to see it unravel and crumble into something that's the opposite of what you had, and to lose touch with the beauty and the connection that you shared, and to watch it flip around and turn into something that's like so negative. You know, like when it comes to like somebody passing away, sometimes it can even be easier because it's like they're gone, rest in peace, like. But when it comes to, you know, parting ways with somebody that you love that's still around, and when there's still a lot of unresolved emotion, it's difficult to find that peace in your day-to-day life. And there's no easy way around it, man. But like I said, pain is one of the greatest catalysts to growth, and I've been using all of the pain and the heartbreak to improve myself and to grow, to become closer to God, to become more understanding and compassionate, and to ultimately be a more loving man. Because, you know, some people, they lose people they love, they get their hearts broken, and it crushes them, and they don't know how to rise. But if you use it to your advantage, it is exceptionally powerful, and it's very difficult, but it's definitely, you know, the road that I'm choosing and the road that I suggest everybody who's going through should choose, because it's either crumble or rise. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. You can either use the pain to become a victim of your life, or you can use the pain to become the hero of your life.
Victor.
Yeah, the victor, and to rise and to become better than you ever were before. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I love that perspective. Sometimes things unfold a certain way for a certain reason, and
Absolutely, brother.
I feel like maybe this will be the right thing for your career in the long term. But dude, absolute pleasure talking so far. I have a few more questions.
Yeah, man, it's been great.
One, this is the Better Road podcast, so if you could choose one thing that makes your life better, what would that be?
One thing that makes me, like, of all things that I do or that I should be doing.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be like, you know, motivational or like fitness, or like it could just be like something you enjoy.
Nighttime routine. I need to get into a better nighttime routine because my sleep is probably the biggest thing that I struggle with. And I just think that I need to, I'm very good with my morning routines, like getting after it and being productive, but nighttime routine is equally, if not more important. And it's something that I haven't really fully implemented yet. And it's something that I really need to do, because sleep is just so important, man. And I not only struggle with sleep to begin with, but lately, you know, going through all the shit that I've been going through, like my sleep has been worse than ever. I've been getting like 3 hours of sleep a night, pretty much on average. It's been really difficult, and I just need
That's not a lot.
It's not much,
No,
dude.
that's
Like,
not a lot.
the only thing that's really saving me is that, like, I really have not been drinking. I have not been eating anything that's not like from the earth. I haven't been smoking really at all. I'm living a very pure lifestyle all across the board. So that's kind of like what's giving me the energy to continue going. Plus, like, I'm just using all of the fuel that I have internally to to rise up and to bring forth the light within. But yeah, I need to get my sleep to
What
a
are you
better
doing
place.
now before you go to sleep?
Well, it kind of varies on a day-to-day basis, but I'm still looking at my phone too much and too
Yeah,
late into the
yeah,
night.
that's a-
Like I need to cut off my phone entirely by 10 p.m. And right now, I haven't been doing that consistently. You know, I was in a good habit of reading, but lately I've just been like, you know, I've been finding some comfort in talking to ChatGPT on my phone recently.
I do that too.
It's been like my therapist through all of this.
Bro, me too. I
So-
ask ChatGPT questions like that
Yeah.
for sure.
So it's really helped me along. It's just like, thank you. Like you get me. Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy. Like it's been such a helpful tool through all of this. And so like, you know, I've been trying to read at night, which I have been good about in the past, but like since I'm like so tired since my lack of sleep at night, it's like hard for me to like get through the
focus
on the
yeah.
reading, and then
Yeah.
it's like, and then I'm having the discomfort of everything I'm going through, and then it's like, all right, let me talk to ChatGPT for a little bit, which has been helping. But I really am leaning into, I'm starting to stretch more at night, meditation, and I always end the night with prayer, which is helpful. But like prayer is not going to do it alone. There has to be steps leading up to the prayer, like stretching, getting away from the phone screen, meditating, just breathing, going for a walk, things that are away from technology and more geared towards connecting with myself internally rather than externally.
Amazing. Anyone who wants to connect with you, what do you suggest is the best way to do so?
I guess for starters, you can reach out to me on Instagram, MAB Worlds, MAB Worlds with a Z, and we could talk and go from there. If you're ever going through something that you're struggling with, you know, I would love to be there to support you in any which way that I can. You know, I can't guarantee that I can, you know, at some point in my life, I don't know if I'll be able to respond to like everybody, but I like to share my feelings and my thoughts with the world and provide any sense of inspiration and perseverance and hope that I can just through the videos and the content that I create. So I think that's probably the best way for now.
And Spotify for
Of course,
MAB
Spotify for music.
MAB World.
Just MAB on Spotify.
Just MAB.
Yeah.
Okay, and last question here. I'm going to put on one of my favorite songs by you that just came out. But my last question is, do you have one person that you suggest would like being on this podcast?
I would like being on this podcast. I think plenty of people. The first person. We're thinking like our monk dudes or like anyone.
Could be anyone.
Like we're talking like celebrities too, or like just like people that we would know, or like because there's people that I like. You know.
Maybe shoot a few if you have a few that come to mind. Whoever comes top of mind is probably the best.
You know, I think my friend Ryan Golden.
Okay, that'd be cool.
I think he could be really good on here. You know, he's a total stallion of a guy.
Yeah.
Amazing athlete.
Stud. What's he up
Stud.
to nowadays?
He's living in the city, and played golf with him recently, and he's been through some stuff like I have in different ways, and he's rising above it right now. And I think he would be a great addition to this podcast.
That's awesome. Ryan, I would love to have you on here. Thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos, and peace out. I'm going to play this.
Cheers.
This song's a hit, bro.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Cheers, man. This is awesome.
Thanks,
I had a great
man.
time.
Yeah, me too, man.
Want some more?
Yeah, I'll take another glass. It's really nice.
I'll get you a bottle, bro, next time I see
Please,
you.
bro. Yeah, it's fucking delicious, man.
Thank you.
So tell me more about this wine gig you got going on
Yeah, so you know my mom has a store?
in Armonk.
Yeah.
Yeah, next to Modern Barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so while my mom has that store, my dad started a production company. So it started with him working for like small distributors, and basically he built enough relationships with liquor stores that he was able to like start his own thing. And we made 2 brands, Bedford and Glenville. So we gave Bedford to like a buying group in New Jersey, and then we like gave Glenville to everyone else in New Jersey. So that's why we do like the different labels. But we have a winemaker now. We've grown the business quite nicely.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
It's an exciting project.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm in Napa like 2 or 3 times a year. Every time we bottle the wines.
Sick.
I lived there actually for like three or 4 months, like
Nice.
learning how to make wine. It was a cool experience.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Napa. I've spent a good amount of time in Solvang, Santa Ynez area. It's like the wine valley right next to Santa Barbara.
Okay, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is really nice.
Santa Barbara's great.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
haven't been there, but I
Dude,
know.
you should. Solvang is amazing, dude. Like, the town itself has this like Dutch like animated influence almost. It's a beautiful town, and there's just like so many wineries around it in the surrounding mountains. And like me and my brother will like just fucking one wheel from winery to winery, or if we're in a car with some other people, we'll just cruise from one to one.
Such a wine country, such
It's
a vibe.
so
bro.
nice, dude. Yeah, it's such good times there. So
I love
peaceful out
renting a
there.
bike in Napa.
Yeah.
And just like, because wine country's hilly, right? Like those mountains, that's like what makes wine great.
Yeah.
So like renting a bike and like going on like the bike trails is like my favorite pastime when I'm there.
Yeah. That sounds fucking awesome, dude.
It's awesome, bro. If you're ever out there and you're in Napa, let me know. If I'm not there myself, I'll show you like where to go. Definitely got some cool spots for you.
Yeah, man, I would love to link up out there. Like I said, I'm planning on going west in September, so I don't know how.
Yeah, I typically go in like August, September. I should be around there.
Okay,
so
nice.
keep me
Yeah.
posted.
So yeah, maybe that'll work.